What? Whatever. Now, what's it supposed to be? And then you see that. This is supposed to be. Oh, it's. Okay, so you did. You didn't really mess. Let's see. See y'all.
Hello, hello. I see somebody has joined, Tatiana. So we still have about 5-ish minutes before we actually get started. So go ahead and grab your items because I'm gonna ask that everybody turn on their cameras because it's kind of hard for me to interact with a big bubble on the screen. So go ahead and do your thing. Y'all gonna see me setting up. I got my boys over here cutting their stuff out. And we're gonna get started. We'll have a good time. I hope you guys are excited. Hope you got your water and your snack, whatever else you may need. But yeah, let's get ready. Stand. I will hold on to the papers. Where's my pen? So right now we're just cutting things out. We're gonna wait for 5 o'clock and for some more people to get on. I'm gonna start cutting my stuff. Vacuum trash. Go around the back and get your trash. Go around the back. Go around. I'm saying get your trash because it's far away. Yeah, the fan. Yeah, I don't have to sit down with something. I can't do this without the fan. It's too hot. There's another pair of scissors on the counter there that I took out.
A little small.
Yeah, they're a little small. If you
Make sure
want,
y'all don't leave no glue. Don't put no scissors on it.
oh, we got tape.
I mean, don't lay it on the conscious.
Huh? Yes. We got tape. You can use one of these to hold your stuff down that you cut out.
Roll on.
No, I just been using tape.
Oh, the tree now. Oh, no. It's easy, but it's all good. You're gonna be having interaction in a little bit. Y'all have her phone? I told you I have her phone number last year. Oh, see her the shit back when she sees it, then she was saying she had what?
Oh. Ooh, I see somebody. We're gonna be joining in. We're gonna get going in about 5 minutes. We just cutting our stuff out. We're gonna get the party started. Just so people have time to get on. So if you don't have your things cut out, now's a good time to get started. Grab your drinks, your snacks, because I'm gonna ask y'all to come off hiding. so we can interact a little bit.
Okay, so, I see. My fingers getting caught.
Ooh, I see some more people. This is so exciting. Y'all are awesome. Yay! Yay! She's not shy. She just popped on. We giving it. I mean, it's not 5 o'clock yet, so I'm gonna wait till 5 and then give some people more time to get on, and then I'm gonna ask everybody to like come off hiding because some people are hiding, and then we'll go ahead and get everything started. But right now, we're just cutting out what we have. If you have your poster boards, if you have your magazines, you can go ahead and start cutting things out if you already know what you want to cut out. But we're gonna start everything shortly, okay?
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
It's all good.
I hope everyone's having a happy new year. Day number 2 in 2022. Y'all like how I rhymed on it?
I like how Bishop said, 2 is,
2022 is up to you.
22, and then, because today is the second, so day 2.
Oh, yeah.
Then you talk about the second point.
Oh, okay. Oh, you watched the service this morning?
Yes.
Oh,
Doesn't want to stay. If you run, wants to run away.
yeah, that's why it has that name.
Not disrespectful.
Oh, it's 5 o'clock. Let me see who we got here. I'm gonna cut out this one last. I cut so slow. Is it?
It is.
So
We're having come.
let's see. Who do we have here? We have Lee here, Tatiana, Mikhail.
What is
Right. Let's see.
What is this? What is this?
All right, I like it. We're gonna wait for a few more folks to get on.
Yes.
Waiting for-
Oh, yeah.
That's a lot of paper.
What's this?
Cap and gown.
Oh.
You can set up the cap, it's the diploma, the cap.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
Look at it.
Hi there. How are you?
Hello.
Hey. Is it Kara? Hi Kara, how
Yes.
are you?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks for asking. I'm waiting for my other hostess to arrive and a couple more people. So if you have like your items you want to cut out for the magazine, we'll get into the event in a few. So we're just waiting for a couple more people. But thanks for coming.
Thanks for inviting me.
You're welcome. All right.
This is fun.
Wait till we get the program started. It's gonna be cool.
Oh, oh my gosh.
I told you to sit. You see, every time I cut something out, I put it up underneath.
It's in the game.
I'm still cutting now. This is the stuff that I had to cut out yet.
Oh, this fine one.
Yes, it can.
Sure.
Relationships.
What is it?
He said he doesn't know that much.
Hey, see who this is. Well, hello, Miss Natasha.
Hello, hello.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Oh, my face
I'm so
oil.
excited to have everyone here. So we're gonna get started in a few. If you have anything to cut out, that you already know what you want to cut out before we start the program, you can go ahead and do that. We're just cutting out some stuff right now, and we'll get right
Okay.
into it.
Sounds
Here's some
good.
more to get on.
Healthy boundaries.
And if any of you are joining us on YouTube Live by chance, you can do the same thing. You can go ahead and get your poster board if you have one, or if you don't, that's fine. You can just take notes, write down everything that you want to do, and then you can go back and create your vision board a little bit later. Either way, we're gonna have a good time.
Nah.
Me.
Exactly. No, your favorite. No, it's your favorite word because you watched the emoji movie. So there was some net.
Over here cutting out with my pencil. I couldn't find others. But it's getting cut nevertheless.
I like how you put a lid at the end, right, on all the papers.
I just said it as a header and automatically did.
Exercise if you want this. House. Wait, please give me your hat so I can if I ever.
Mom is coming. Woo! Your mom's coming now. Your mom's coming. Never mind.
Here.
No, on the Zoom. She is asking for the link.
When you're doing it, turn it up on it. So, I
Oh,
don't
that
care.
was done. Not as slow as I thought I was.
Ooh, I need to see this one.
Not yet, huh? Hello, hello. Are you driving? Girl. Okay, so I want you to be safe. So how about this? Are you hands-free? Oh, okay. Okay, cool, okay. All right, well, we're just cutting up out our things. We'll get started in a little bit. We're waiting on my other hostess to arrive, and then we're gonna get started. But everyone's pretty much cutting up their stuff. So we'll give it another 2-3 minutes, and then I'm just gonna dive into it, all right? So I don't wanna keep y'all waiting.
I cut. I Don't include
After I finish cutting this, we're just gonna dive right into it. And I'm gonna have y'all phones too, so y'all can engage, okay? Y'all got your stuff cut out almost? Do me a favor, you can squeeze through there, right, Zach? Bring the trash and sit right there, that way we can throw the stuff in there. Bring the trash and sit it right here so we can throw the scraps in the trash.
Oh, you didn't.
Thank you. Zach, waiting. Thank you.
Yes, that even done.
I'm probably gonna have y'all help me cut mine out while I facilitate, so I have, here. Just hand it to me. All right, guys, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. Y'all know me, I like to be prompt and on time. So let's have at it. So for those of you who are in hiding, can y'all do me the kindest of that? Ooh, hey Alex! Hey y'all! Okay, everybody go ahead and unmute yourselves. Hi. Hey. Sit in the
What's
corner.
up, everybody?
Hey everybody. And whoever's in hiding, can y'all do me a favor and like unhide yourself? Because I engage the best when I can see your lovely faces. So yes! Hey, beautiful! Hey!
Hey, Kara.
Hey,
Kara.
Hi.
I'm so excited to have y'all here. Y'all don't understand how much this just makes my day. Normally what I do is every new year, me and my friend Nat, unfortunately she can't be here today because she's under the weather, but me and my friend Nat, we typically go live on social media and we'll do like whatever year it is, goals and whatever, and we'll come up with like 10 goals each and just kind of inspire others to write out their goals and think about their goals. And so this year, you know, I met Annette and I was like, you know, I think it'll be good to do like a vision board party. And that way we can, instead of us telling everybody our goals and hoping that they go make their own goals, we'll just do it all together. And so with everybody trying to be safe and things, I figured virtual would be the best bet. So here we are. So I want to make a special thank you to Raquel because as soon as she saw the invitation, I was like, if you want to invite other people, let me know. And she was like hitting me up like every other day, like, hey, I got this person that wants to join. Hey, I got this person who wants to join. So thank you so much for spreading the word and getting more people on. I really appreciate that. Thank you. All right, so what I would like to do, this is something, let me just make sure that, can y'all hear me from back here?
Yeah.
Yes, perfect. All right, so what I like to do always when I do any event is I like to have an icebreaker. And my reason for wanting an icebreaker is so that everybody can feel comfortable sharing, everybody can be good with everybody, and we can just build one big happy family. So are y'all good? Are y'all good with that?
Yeah.
Yes, perfect. All right, so we're gonna do an icebreaker, and what I want everyone to do is to tell us your name. I want you to tell us your name, where you're from, and what is a big accomplishment that you probably didn't think you'd be able to accomplish last year, but you actually conquered it. Okay, so I'll go first, just to give an example. So my name is Chiquita Nicole, also known as Sassy Fit. Hey. And I'm born and raised in Orlando, Florida. And one thing that I aimed for last year that I didn't think I'll be able to accomplish, and I actually found out at the last minute that I actually did, is I wanted to get nationally qualified in a new division that they came out with in the bodybuilding federation that I compete in. And I found out that I got nationally qualified and I was like, oh my gosh, I was so excited. So what that means when you get nationally qualified is you have an opportunity to compete nationally to become a pro as a bodybuilder or athlete. So that was a big deal to me because I didn't think I did it. So I went first. So I'm just gonna start with who I see on my screen. And the first one I see is Shanda and Fred. So Fred, you're first. So what's your, tell everyone your name, where you're from, and something that you wrote down that you didn't really think you would accomplish, but you actually conquered it.
Yeah, my name is Fred. Nice to meet you guys. I'm glad to be
Hey,
here.
Fred.
I'm from Philly, raised in Philly, but was born in Queens. And yeah, one thing I conquered last year was just, focusing on myself, self-development, things like that. So that's something that I focused on last year, and I think that I'm in a better place now that I did focus on that.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah.
All right, Shanda.
Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday. I'm Shanda, and I was actually born in Oklahoma City. I was raised in Kansas City, and I've been living in Orlando since '04. So I've made my way to the East Coast, and so let's see. Well, I'll say most recently from last year, the thing I didn't envision myself accomplishing was hosting a Connect group. That was me stretching myself because I usually like to hide. I usually like to be in the background. I don't mind doing the work, but I don't like to be out there like that. So that was a stretch for me, and it worked out. So
Yeah, you did amazing.
thank
Just
you.
just put that out there. You did a great job. I would have never known it was a stretch for you. All right. What was that?
Just being obedient to God.
Yes, absolutely. All right, so I think next we have, is it Kara?
Yes, hi. I froze for a minute, sorry. My name is Kara, I'm from New York. I have, I think the thing that this year was a big thing for me was stretching myself. I know I was able to come to know of Judah through Pastor Clint's songs I grew up singing. And that's how I became connected with Judah Church and found out about it, and stretching myself as far as I'm more of a, like Shanna just said, to myself, but to participate in the Connect groups and get to meet people was something that I was able to accomplish this year.
Nice. That's awesome. I'm happy that you found Judah, and I know you're loving it, right?
Yes.
Yes. So thank you so much.
And Southbound.
Oh yeah, I had my Southbound shirt on yesterday. That's awesome. Okay, so next up I have Raquel.
Hi, my name is Raquel Negron. I was born in Chicago, and
Okay.
I've been in Florida since I was 10 in the 5th grade. I did a couple things, they're kind of linked, but mine was first joining a Connect group, kind of getting out of my shell and initially just connecting with other people. And then I actually wrote on my vision sheet from 2021, I wrote down lead a Connect group with a big question mark, and I just ignored it, but I ended up successfully leading a Connect group last year.
Nice.
You sure?
That's awesome. And you rocked it, girl. I saw you. You rocked it. That's so awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming. And I appreciate again for you reaching out and getting other people to attend as well. All right, Tatiana, you're up.
Hi, everybody. I'm Tatiana. I'm originally from the Bronx, New York. Shout out to NYC. Yes, by way of Lake County, Florida. I've been here since 6th grade.
Okay.
2004. One of my biggest accomplishments from last year, and I'm looking at my vision board, mental health checks and all of that. So a couple things that I've done, definitely not taking work home with me. I took a whole vacation. It was a girls' trip retreat over Thanksgiving break. And then also just going into therapy. That was great for me. So a lot of self-care and mental health awareness.
That's really good. And I'm glad you said that because we're going to touch on some of that today. So kudos to you for that. That's not always an easy thing to share. So kudos for that. And then finding the courage to do it. So that's exciting. It looks like someone else has popped on. Who is it? I can't see. Lee, is that girl? I should put my glasses on. Is that Lee? Lee here? Can you go ahead and unmute yourself? Hey, Lee. So
Hi,
we're
how are
gonna.
you?
I'm good. So can you go ahead and introduce yourself? Tell us your name, where you're from, and a really big goal that you accomplished last year that maybe you probably wouldn't have thought of accomplishing, but you did. You conquered it.
So I'm Lyrian. I'm originally from Guyana, South America, but I've been living in Orlando for about like 5 years now.
Okay.
I guess a really big goal of mine that I've accomplished in the last year is I've been thinking for a while of going back to grad school. I actually didn't really expect anything of it. I didn't know if I was gonna get in, but literally I think it was in December, the very last one of last year, I found that I was accepted into my master's program, and I'm supposed to be starting that towards the end of this year. So really excited about that.
That's awesome. Congratulations. I know a lot of times when we set out to make a goal that we just do it like, I'm gonna put it, I don't really expect anything out of it, and then you're pleasantly surprised. So that's really good. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Is there anyone else that I might not see who hasn't gone to introduce themselves?
I can go, Natasha.
Okay, go Natasha.
Hi everyone, good afternoon, happy Sunday. I'm Natasha. I'm actually from, of course, Orlando, but I was born in the Virgin Islands, St. Croix.
Okay.
What I have accomplished in 2021 was something very major for me. I lost over 50 pounds.
What?
I think I quit about 7 times normally. But I think last year was the first time I actually stayed obedient and consistent.
That's awesome. I'm very proud of you.
And you also did train me, girl.
Yeah. Sassy and fit, Helen.
You did.
You're looking snap.
And doesn't she look amazing, guys?
Thank you.
And she actually won. Like I always do like a Thanksgiving challenge every year, just to kind of challenge people during the holidays, just not like go overboard and still kind of stick to their goals, all while enjoying themselves at the same time. And she conquered it. She engaged with everybody. She did her homework assignments. She worked out. She checked in with me, and her progress was phenomenal. So she won first place in that competition. So I was very, very proud of her. So it doesn't surprise me that she lost 50 pounds because she's a hard worker.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Is there anyone else that I can only see a few people across the screen. I wish I could fix that, but is there anyone else that I may not have mentioned or that I don't see? Just go ahead and unmute yourself. No? Well, I'm gonna introduce my boys. I have 2 of them here, so I'll let Zach go first. Put that in the trash, put this trash. And Zach, come over here. Put this. All right, so he's gonna tell everybody his name, where he's from, and what big goal did you accomplish last year? Go ahead, speak up. My name is Zach.
Hey, my name is Zach or Isaac Brower.
Where are you from?
Born in Jacksonville. I was partly raised in Jacksonville. I'm still being raised in Orlando.
And a big accomplishment.
I dream more.
Okay, so let me tell you something about this guy here. He loves to draw, And he wasn't very confident in his drawing because his style is a little different. But I told him that he draws very well, and I challenged him to use color because he doesn't like to use color. But we got him a tablet last Christmas, and he's been using color, and his pictures are coming to life and evolving more and more every day. So great accomplishment, boo. Yeah. All right, next. So now we're gonna introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Isaiah. I'm from Jacksonville, Florida, but I'm being raised in Orlando. And a big accomplishment that I made last year was, I guess you could say, playing more gospel songs, because I definitely wanted to play more, playing more gospel songs on the keyboard.
Okay, so let me tell you something about this guy. So he loves to play the piano, but he would only like to make his own melodies and things like that, which is great. But I challenged him to learn other songs so that he can get, his style of music expanded. And he fought me on it in the beginning, but after we started coming to Judah and he started hearing, the musicians play, and he started to be inspired by what he heard there. And so he started coming home, going on YouTube, playing the songs that we sing at Judah and trying to play with it. So I was proud of him for that. Great job. Looks like we have somebody else on here. Hey, Mama Francis. So if you can go ahead and unmute yourself. There you go. And can you tell us your name, where you're from, your relationship to me, and a great accomplishment that you had last year?
Yes, good evening. I am Frances Harris, and I live in Port St. Lucie, Florida. And this is my Chiquita is my son's to-be future wife. And I guess my biggest accomplishment last year was getting off those COVID pounds, at least some of them. And my biggest success has been really navigating life, watching my children and grandchildren and great-grands grow up, and still trying to maintain myself and keep myself involved. I'm very proud of Chiquita and all that she has accomplished this past year. And my future grandsons there, I tell you, I just adore them. I am a retired educator. I'm an ordained minister, and I'm proud to be with you all this afternoon.
Well, thank you so much for coming, and thank you for all the kind words. She's an amazing woman of God, you guys. So I'm sure she'll be able to give us, when we get on our spiritual segment, she'll be able to give us some great insight on that. So did I miss anyone? Is there anyone else that needs to introduce themselves before we dive into it? Oh, yeah, come on. I almost got this special guy right here. All right, so you got to tell us your name, where you're from. This is his mom, the one that was speaking, Mama Francis. And your name, where you're from, and a big accomplishment you did last year that you didn't possibly think you could have gotten, but you achieved it.
Hello, everyone. My name is Greg. I'm born and raised in Florida, Fort Pierce, Florida, actually. So you call me Florida man. One of my, actually, I had a few accomplishments last year. One is doing more investment in the stock markets and cryptocurrency, and making a transition in my career from telecommunications to being a network engineer. So those are some of my accomplishments from last year.
Yes, awesome. And let me tell you about this guy. I always gotta speak on somebody. So he had been studying for a while to get his certifications because he does IT work. And I was like, you gotta study. And he would study and put it off and study. And I was like, you gotta study. And he finally studied and pushed through and passed it. And then got that big promo. So, and now with the promotion that he got, he's learning more about investing. And so I'm very proud of you for that. All right, so thank you so much, everybody, for sharing. Now we're gonna dive into the program. What I like to do is I like to challenge people. A lot of you know that that's what I do in my profession with fitness, but not just with fitness, just with everything in life. So I think it would be great to have, I know everybody has their goals, but sometimes we kind of put our goals in like a box. You know what I mean? We might think about one thing and stick with that one thing, but we might not think about the other areas of our life that we may need to plan around. So I'm gonna give us 4 categories to think about, and then we're gonna elaborate on each one. So whatever your goals are, keep your goals, but I'm gonna challenge you to go outside of those and think about areas of your life that you might need to expand even more and try to think about doing better. So the first one is gonna be spiritual. One category is gonna be spiritual. And with spiritual, it could be anything from praying more, getting a close relationship with God, being more faithful, touching more people's lives, whatever it is that spiritual means for you. The second one is going to be physical and personal. So that could be your health, your well-being, your self-care, educating yourself for that next job, taking those certifications, whatever it might be, going to therapy, whatever it is. And then number 3 is going to be financial. So when you think of financial, think about, like he was talking about, learning about investing, learning about saving. What is your financial goal? Like, how much money is it that you're trying to make for the year? What is your monthly goal? What is your annual goal? And what are you going to do to try to reach that goal? And then last but not least, relationships. Relationships can be anything from your relationship with your significant other, with your kids, with your mother, with your friends. Maybe you need to cut off some relationships because it's not serving you any good. So whatever those might be, just think about those things as you're putting your boards together. Let me have by thumbs up or emoji, or you can unmute yourself. Does everybody have their boards and magazines and things of that nature? Yes? Perfect. Have you guys cut anything out at all? Okay, perfect. So if you haven't cut anything out, you can definitely start doing that right now. But we're right now we're going to focus on the spiritual. So I always like to lead by example and share first, just to give an idea of what I mean. So my spiritual, what I put for myself, I have meditation, and I'm gonna have to put my stuff on later because I just had it cut out. But before I get into this, let me backtrack a bit. I started this tradition in 2019 because for me, I always like to set goals. And it was important for me to instill in my kids the importance of setting goals, and not just setting the goals, but actually thinking about what it is that you need to do, the steps that you need to take to reach those goals. So I've always done goals, but in 2019, I decided we're gonna do this together. We're gonna do a vision board. And a lot of times you can find out a lot about your kids that you didn't know. It may be some things that they were struggling with that you might not have known, because sometimes teenagers aren't always comfortable opening up. So when they put those things down and you're like, oh, wow, I'm excited that this is something that you want to aim towards. And then they see it and they aim towards it. So I got rid of my 2019 one. I didn't get rid of it. I actually have it on my phone. But I'm going to show you the one from 2020. So let me come a little closer. So can y'all see this? Okay. Yes, so this is my 2020 goal vision board right here. So if you see, I always have money at the top. And in 2020, I figured it was 2020 vision. And a lot of times we don't realize how much we manifest things into life, because a lot of us thought, oh, 2020 vision, our eyes are going to be open. We're going to see all these things. And guess what? With COVID, our eyes were open. COVID made us stay home. It allowed us to get closer to our family members. It made us, some of us learn if we were afraid to start that business, it forced us to start a business so that we can make money. It challenged us to do a lot of things. It opened our eyes to a lot of things that we probably wouldn't have paid attention to if we were still moving 50 miles per hour, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this board right here was a little bit more vague. I always put like money. My goal was to try out going vegan. I went vegan for about a year and I loved it. But then I decided, to stick with a pescatarian diet because, I wasn't getting as much protein as my body needed. And I believe in balance, but I did want to try it out. And, motivational speaking. And I accomplished everything on here because I saw it and I aimed for it. And then the next year, my board got a little bigger. This was this year, and I accomplished everything on this goal as well. My goal last year, which I didn't mention, was to bring fitness to church. Because for me, I feel like that's one ministry that's lacking in the church. We talk about spirituality, we talking about the spiritual mind and being obedient to God, but we don't think about the temple that God has blessed us with and taking care of it properly. We go to all these cookouts that have all these foods that are not conducive to your health. And so it was my desire to bring health to church. And by my surprise, I sat down and had a meeting with Pastor Kendall, and she liked my idea. And that's how Judah Fit got started. And so I was uber excited that she was on board. Like, it may be this little to some people, but it's huge to me, because if I can impact the world and teach everybody how to be healthy and fit for a lifetime of longevity, that's what makes my heart smile. And so bringing fitness to church is what I did. And you can see right there, I was so excited about that. I actually forgot that happened last year. But learning how to forgive, learning how to move forward and let things go, and just have a peace of mind, like Tatiana was talking about. All of those things are great. So I just kind of wanted to show my board from last year. But this year, each year I try to expand a little bit more. So as you notice, my boards get bigger each year. So this year I decided, let's do categories. That way we tap into every aspect of our life and not just focus on one thing. Because it's easy for me to just focus on fitness and health, but there's more to my life than just that, right? So I'm gonna share first with what I have for spiritual. Everybody has their own spiritual journey. I know Raquel had, fervent, correct me, what was it called? Effectual fervent prayer?
Yes, effectual fervent prayer.
And tell us a little bit about what that group was about.
Well, that group was specifically for individuals that had a desire to grow in their prayer life. And by participating in the group, they were able to get a biblical understanding of what prayer is, different facets of it, different strategies. And then we used a text that each chapter focused on a different area of life. For example, it might be your passion, it might be your focus, it might be your family. And so with each chapter, we actually wrote prayers for all of those different areas of our lives.
Yes, and that's awesome. I think it's important to have a good prayer life. I'm going to be transparent right now. This is something that I've learned to do in the past, I would say, couple years, because I started to be more open in 2020 when I wrote my story about my life. But before that, I used to be extremely private. I never opened up to anybody. I was never comfortable enough to really open up and share the things that were on my heart. So I'm going to be candid right now and say, like, I've always struggled in the prayer department, because when I was younger, I felt like, when you would hear the older people pray, or the people, they would say all these things, and I'm like, I don't pray like that. They have these long prayers and they know what to say. And I felt like my prayer didn't mean anything because it was short and sweet, But I was told, I remember my mom told me, it's not about how long your prayer is. God speaks in all languages. So it's about your communication with God. You talk to him like you're talking to someone, like you talk to him like you're talking to me. And so when I got that understanding that it doesn't have to be this long drawn out prayer with speaking in tongues and all that, to be heard. And that's what worked for me with my prayer life, because I was like, excuse me, is he even hearing my prayers? Like, I don't even know what to say. But in the moment when I close my eyes and I'm thinking like, Lord, how am I going to do this? Please help me. I just need your help. That's the prayer. I didn't know that before. So I'm sure a lot of people took a lot away from your effectual fervent prayer group, and I'm excited for it for next year. Go ahead, Shannon, you have something?
That a lot of people took away from her class, and I was one of those people.
Yes. What did you take away from her class?
How to pray strategically. I felt like it's so easy to generalize our prayers, but just how categorizing our vision boards, you can categorize your prayers. So like I said, from the book Fervent, we were going over different parts of our life and basically learning who the real enemy is and knowing how to counteract that with prayer.
Well, that's awesome. Praying strategically is wow. You taught them how to pray strategically? Girl, let me make sure I sign up for your group next time. That's awesome. Can you elaborate a little bit on that? Are you guys okay with this? Are we okay with diving into the prayer aspect of the spirituality? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Okay, perfect. So Raquel, can you tell us just a little bit about the strategic praying?
Well, the main strategy I tried to teach them was to use the Word of God as a weapon I wouldn't even say as a weapon, as ammunition in their weapon of prayer. And so what I mean by that is, I've heard the phrase of, instead of praying your worries, pray the word. Instead of praying about your problems, pray God's promises. So you look at different areas in your life where you might need to see God move, act, turn things around, whatever it might be. And you find, there's concordances, there's topical reading plans. You can Google a word to look for scriptures that apply to whatever that problem is. Like, obviously, if you are sick, if someone in your family is sick, you look for healing scriptures in the Bible to pray for that person. If there is discord, disunity, conflict within your relationships in your family, then you look for those scriptures that talk about unity and peace. So as you find these problem areas, if you want to call them, more challenging areas, then you find the word of God that would apply to it. Kind of like when you think physically, someone is sick, you go to a doctor, you get a diagnosis, they're going to tell you what your problem is. And then they're going to give you a prescription for the exact medicine that's going to take care of that problem. So in the same way, that's what they learn to do in their lives through prayer.
That's awesome. Wow. Well, thank you so much for sharing. That is really, really awesome. Keeping up with the prayer. Tatiana, Mama Francis, is there anything you guys want to add on your take with prayer?
Well, I would like to say that prayer changes things.
Oh, yeah.
And it is a language we talk to God. God listens. He hears us, and he will help us to navigate life. But we have to learn how to trust him in all areas of our lives. So I like what she said. What are your concerns that you have? And, using the Bible and finding scriptures, you can be specific as how to ask for them. We have the Lord's Prayer, which is a model prayer that it teaches us how to model our prayers and how to acknowledge God and keep in mind that, in relationships, if you want to be forgiven, you have to forgive. There are things that we can learn from just that one prayer that the Lord gave us. You can find it in your Bible, Google it, and or use your Bible, the concordance, to find it and put it into practice. You know, give us this day our daily bread, and make prayer a part of your life when you wake up in the morning, learning how to give God thanks for a brand new day, brand new mercies. And because He is, you know, our creator, and we should acknowledge Him in all of our ways.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that. You
And
got
as
something?
I do. As I said, no, it was being on the spot, but I do have something to say. And it's a little bit of kudos to Raquel. I joined Reverend a little bit late, but in the interim time between the winter connect well, the fall connect groups and then the winter that's about to take place, we did a prayer journal. And I didn't keep up with it as well as I wanted to, but something that I do is I write a lot. So even if you are writing down your prayers, it's still a prayer. Even if you're not saying them out loud, you've written them down to go back to, so you can see what God has done in your life and what you are still holding Him accountable, if you want to put it that way, in your life, to see what He will do for you, because He is a faithful God. And that's prayer for me.
That's awesome. And I'm glad you mentioned about writing, because I myself am a writer as well. I always tell people I'm a writer before I'm a speaker. A lot of people think that I'm like this amazing speaker, but they don't know, like, I have to like plan out my thoughts, plan out what I'm gonna say. Because if you put me on the spot, it's gonna be short and sweet, because I want to make sure I sound, you know, educated and everything. So it's easier for me to write my thoughts down. And that's another reason why I believe that I struggled with the, you know, if so, you know how when you do prayer circle and you get called on to pray, you're like, oh, but you hear someone who does like this great prayer, and you know, they seem so anointed and you feel less anointed because your prayer isn't on the same level. But I had to learn that you're not less anointed because your prayer style is different. Like you said, if you write it down, if it's short and sweet, as long as you are genuine in what it is that you're saying or asking for, I think that that is what matters most to God. And at the end of the day, it's your relationship with God. And as my mom told me, God speaks in every language. So it doesn't matter if you speak English, if you write, if you know, speak another language, He's gonna hear you. He's gonna understand what you're asking. And the reason I wanted to start this off with spiritual, the vision boards with the spiritual aspect of things, because I believe that nothing can really manifest properly without it. Like, the spiritual piece has to be first. There has to be faith, there has to be belief in what it is that you're going after. You have to pray about it, you have to manifest it. I believe that, you know, there's power in the tone. You know, you have to, whatever you speak, I believe, is what's gonna happen. And every time that I went to the past and I've listened to, like on New Year's Day yesterday, in my memories came up the live video I did from 2021, and I was just blown away at the amount of things that I manifested. You can put that on yours. But y'all want to know what my son handed me? Miss Mama Francis will get a kick out of this. He just came and handed this to me to put on my board. It says wedding bliss. My son just handed that to me. He's funny. But yeah, so I just feel like it's important to lead with that. Just like in any relationship, they say, you know, you put God first and everything else will fall into place. Because when all else fails, you have your faith to fall on. You know what I mean? So I said I was gonna share first. For my spiritual aspect, I put meditation. Like Mama Francis was saying, when you wake up in the morning, it's great to give thanks. Meditate, because a lot of times I find myself moving so fast, and not taking the time to really think about what it is that I need to do. So when you take that moment to just sit down and just be quiet with your thoughts, be thankful in that moment. And I found that my days are a lot less stressful when I do that. So I'm adding that to my board again this year to make sure I meditate and make sure I pray more and make sure that I keep my faith in God and my prayer life strong. So that's what I'm adding to mine. Does anyone want to share what they might add to their spiritual side?
Oh, that's Kara. For me, it's finding my purpose. And I was able to participate in David Hill's class on that topic. And for me, it's more of, my son is now 23. So I feel like that season, I've raised him, I've poured into him, and it's now what is my next phase. And that's what I'm looking for.
That's great. Do you have any ideas that can kind of point you in the direction of what your purpose might be?
I have some things floating around, but nothing that has gelled into a full idea yet. So I have some stuff floating around. I've been wanting to come up with something concrete so I could start building around it, but it's still in formulation.
Okay, well, it's good that you have some ideas to play with, and then you just play around with those, and you never know. A lot of times, at least I have found, a lot of times our purpose is like right in our laps and we don't realize it because we may have either ran away from it or try to do something else that might have caught our attention at that time. And I know that's what happened with me. Like the things I kept running away from was the things I needed to run towards because that was my purpose. So just wanted to kind of give you that nugget. Maybe that'll help you out a little bit.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else want to share? No? All right, so, oh, yes, okay, Tatiana.
So I love to read, and I have Kindle Unlimited, so I get a lot of ebooks. And one of the things that Kindle does is it allows you to set a reading goal. So I had one goal, but I had met it. I think it was like 39 books. And then like I literally like doubled it. And I met my goal, it was 78. And then what I'm going to do this year is I want to incorporate more spiritual books. So I'm definitely trying to do just a book study by myself, once a month, a spiritual book. And I'm starting, I don't know where it is, but it's setting boundaries with your soul. So
wait, what's the name of the book? What's the
boundaries with your soul. Hold on, I gotta find it. I think it's by my bedside. Give me one second.
Okay, that is a great book to read. I actually started writing a book called Out of Bounds, which is about setting boundaries. But I have, I'm working on another book right now, but that book's gonna take me some time because, setting boundaries is like the real deal, right, Tatiana?
It surely is. That was part
deal.
of my self-care.
Yes. And believe it or not, a lot of people.
How do I do this?
What's it called?
I'm trying to get it right, but it's Boundaries for Your Soul. How to turn your overwhelming thoughts and feelings into your greatest allies.
Yeah. And who is it by?
It's by Allison Cook and Kimberly Miller. Let me unblur my background. This will help.
That sounds like a great book. Oh yeah, we see it now. That's good. Thank you so much for sharing. Isaiah had said he mentioned on his spiritual side about reading more spiritual books, didn't you? You want to elaborate a little bit? Let's you speak up.
So I actually got inspired by a few the Discovering Your Purpose connect group I did with David, and then a summer connect group I did with Pastor Isaiah with the books that we were reading. And so I definitely got inspired to read more spiritual books so that I can dive deeper into my spirituality and create a people relationship with God.
Yeah, he loves to read too and write. So it was funny when Pastor Isaiah did that connect group with them. He said that it was only you and maybe one other person that actually read the entire book that they had, which it didn't surprise me because he loves to read. But like, I feel like reading is great. It's a great way to expand your mind, especially when you're reading good things. So that's awesome. Hold on, looks like, oh, thanks for the site. Yeah, so if anybody wants to grab that website, Tatiana, put it in the chat box to get that book on boundaries. Thank you so much. I will be getting that. That is awesome. All right, so the spiritual was really good. I hope I helped you guys expand upon what to put down for your spiritual side. If anyone else has anything else they want to share before I move on to the next category.
Can I say something?
Yes, absolutely.
Hi everyone, happy first Sunday of the new year. My name is Annette. I wanted to share with you because you mentioned how on the spiritual side, you do meditation in the morning and everyone else mentioned things they read. For me, in the morning, it's a song. Like there's a certain gospel song that I listen to in the morning and it puts me in the right space. And when I'm moving around, because one, I'm a little older, so my eyes, what have you, I listen to on YouTube some spiritual stuff. So I do less reading nowadays and more of listening to either YouTube, but in the morning after I either do meditation and a little yoga, whatever, there's like this gospel song that I listen to, and then I go about my day.
And that's great too. Just to let you know, I remember one time, and I think Annette was on her spiritual high that day. I think it was close to your birthday. And she said, girl, I gotta play this song for you. And I was like, what song are you talking about? And so she played it, and we were in the fitness studio room praising like we was at church. She was like, can you come sing it? I love this song. And
I want you to sing it.
Yeah, she was like almost in tears. You remember the song you played?
Yes, I think it says oh my gosh, I listen to it every day. He did enough. I'm trying to see if I can find my phone.
Yeah,
but I'll put it in there.
She played that song and she was like, y'all need to sing this at Judah. And I was like, well, send it to me, we'll see. But it's a really, really good song. And I can see how a song like that can motivate you. Huh?
I think he does enough.
He does enough.
Yeah.
It's a great song. Does anyone else want to share before we move to the next category? All right. So I hope we were able to help you guys, come up with some things for your spiritual side of your vision board. The next category is going to be physical and personal. So like I said, that could be anything from health, well-being, self-care, educating yourself. I always like to share first. So for me, my physical is, I have to sort through. And I didn't want to speak too soon on this because when Tatiana was sharing, but I wanted to, one of my biggest things is mental wellness, mental health. Although I talk a lot about physical fitness and just, being healthy, I feel like it starts with your mind. And a lot of times, we have a hard time, especially I used to have a hard time because I'm an introvert and I used to be extremely shy. Like doing this would have never happened 10 years ago. I have grown so much over the last 10 years. I look back and I'm just amazed at the woman that I've become because like, I don't remember who it was that said, Shanda, that she likes to be in the shadows and she'll do the work, but she don't like to be out front. That used to be me. When I was in the military, I went to boot camp and my drill sergeant pulled me to the side and he was like, you are a leader. He was like, it seems like you like to hide in the shadows, but you should be up front. I did everything I was supposed to, but I did not want to be up front. And guess what he did? He made me a leader. Beside what I wanted, he made me a leader. I had to man my group. And they listened to me. I didn't have to yell because I always lead by example. I believe it's important to lead by example because what good is managing somebody if you can't follow? If you can't do the things yourself, how can you expect someone else to do it? So I've always been the type to lead by example. And he got in my face one time and said, if you don't become aggressive, I'm going to be aggressive towards you. So he didn't want me. He said I had too much in me to be in the shadows. And even though I didn't like it, it strengthened me to be the way that I am now, be out in the front. And it's not always comfortable. Even though I'm out here, it's not always comfortable. I'm going back in my mind, making sure it's gonna be right. It gotta be perfect, but no one's perfect. But mental health is very important. And that's one of the things that I put on my physical and personal goal, because I wanna always make sure that I have my sanity and I have my peace. Because without that, it's hard to go and do anything else if your mental state is not healthy. Another thing I have is boundaries. There is no balance without healthy boundaries. That's why I got so excited when Tatiana mentioned about boundaries, because my boundaries are very firm. And I've learned over the years that setting boundaries is not easy for a lot of people. I used to be that person who never set boundaries. I used to just let people do and say what they wanted, and I wouldn't say anything. And then I would hurt later. And I hate that feeling of wishing I said something in that moment, but by the time you want to say something, it's too late and pointless. So now I nip things in the bud right then and there when it's bothering me, and let people know, okay, this is not okay with me. I need you to adjust yourself, or I can just dismiss myself. Because one thing that I've learned over the years is you can't control nobody but yourself, but what you can control is your response to other people and your response to other situations. So I can't control the way you treat me, but I don't have to be around you. I can't control the fact that my house burned down, but I can make a plan to find a way to come out of that. You know what I'm saying? So it's different things that I've learned when it comes to healthy boundaries. Does anyone have something that they want to share with their physical, personal goal? Annette, you have something you want to tap into on the physical, personal side?
I just want to share. Are we talking physical fitness or just personal development?
Everything, physical fitness, physical development, physical everything. Everything physical, everything personal.
I just want to share real quick, which some people may not know that know me, and I've been teaching fitness classes for years. I've lacked a lot of confidence, and mainly because of the people who were around me before, right? And what's interesting is I can coach someone into health, give them results, what have you, but I never actually felt really strong enough.
Mm-hmm.
I know I can give off energy, I can tell you how to do it, but I never felt strong enough mentally. So I never gave myself enough credit. So in regards to personal development, now I'm truly working on me. And what's a blessing is I have people who tell me, oh, you look good, the way you function at your age over 50, but I still have a lot of work to do. So if they think I'm kind of awesome now, I'm looking forward to them seeing what I'm about to do. So I'm working on me personally, physically, to take me to another level, so that the people that I already coach, I'm gonna take them to another level. And my goal is I'm gonna travel the world sharing how to, level up mentally and physically. So in that aspect, my personal development is working on me mentally so I can have confidence to work on me more physically so I can impact more people.
That's awesome. I believe, well, I just figured out a way to see everybody, and I just noticed that Miss Cheryl is on here. Periola is on here, and I haven't heard from you guys, and someone else is down in the bottom. I don't know who that person is. If y'all can show me your beautiful face, I would absolutely love it, so I can engage with you guys. Hey, Miss Cheryl, how you doing? And hey, Periola girl. I see you, boo. So, please don't be shy. I know y'all weren't here early when we did the icebreaker, but that is okay. Y'all know me, so we're good, right? So, anybody else have any personal fitness goals, educational goals? Like for me, I want to get my nutrition certification. I have been studying all year, and you know, I'm very educated in nutrition, but for me, it's nothing like having that piece of paper in your hand, you know? So, you know, I've been really busy, and it's important for me to like carve out that time, like at least an hour a day to just study, you know, because I'm one of those read the book cover to cover type of thing. I can't just take the test and memorize the answers. That's not going to work for me. I need to actually read everything. Like Tatiana was saying, you got to read stuff to get it in there, you know? So somebody please share a personal goal, a physical goal, mental health goal. Go ahead, Shanda.
So I don't know. I'm gonna show like the little pictures, but I don't know if you guys can see it. I cut out a Nike sign. I don't know.
Okay. Nike, just do it, girl.
So that represents the Nike Run Club. I actually used to run 5Ks, and I need to get back into it. So that's going to be my goal this year, to run more and log it into the Nike Run Club so I can actually see what I'm doing throughout the year. And also I cut out workout because, you know, I need to work out.
Well, you know I got you covered, Shandy. You know I got you covered.
I know. I'm like, let me say this to Chiquita. I need to work out, and then
so I could be like, Shandy, did you work out today?
Please ask. That's why I'm saying it out loud. When y'all see me at church, please ask me what happened this week. So,
yeah, we gotta hold you accountable.
Please do. I need it. I was so bad this year, and I think I went to one of the Zumba classes, and that was amazing. So hopefully that's offered again. But and then I also put health because I want to improve my overall health. I want to eat better. I like to cook, but the things that I cook are not.
They're good though.
Yeah. But I need to tone it down a little bit. So health is going to be on my priority list this year.
That's awesome.
So far.
That's awesome. Those are great physical goals and health goals. I think we should all have them, honestly, especially even more, if not before, which you should have had it before, but even if not before, like really now with COVID going around, like I tell people, like the one thing that COVID will reveal is how healthy you are. Like people get sick, yes, but like your overall health will determine like how you handle that. You know what I'm saying? So I think now more than ever, people should be focusing on their health. I think Raquel, you wanted to share? You're muted still.
There we go. Mine is a personal goal, but it's also linked to the spiritual.
Okay.
So I found this scripture that says, "For we walk by faith and not sight." So my personal / spiritual goal is to get out of my comfort zone and to step out in faith to do all the things that God is prompting me to do. And one of those things is, I mean, I've obviously found my place to serve in church, but I believe that there is an actual ministry that God has just for me. So, so that's where that getting out of your comfort zone and stepping out and all of that comes into play.
That's awesome. I love that. Does anyone else have one? Miss Cheryl?
Yeah, so last year, 2021 was different. Everybody experienced COVID, but I guess two things major. I turned 60, and couple of my friends we grew up together, and we're like all at the same place in our lives. We're taking care of a parent, so it's like role reversal. We're the parent and they're the children, and we all had this. We realized we were having the exact same struggles at the exact same age, and we've been friends since we were 18. We met in college, and so that was, when we were in our 20s and 30s, we never thought about being 60 and what that meant. We didn't set goals back then. We just lived day to day, get a job, go to school, be a wife, mother, whatever. So that was like a big, like, wow, I'm 60 now. What does that look like anymore? And then the other thing was, I came home from work. They shut our office down and we had to telework. Well, I'm a very people person, and I missed the interaction with my coworkers, sharing, going through their trials and mentoring and just, because a lot of my coworkers that I'm friends with are younger, they're in their 30s and 40s, and they don't know, how to progress in their career and things that I took for granted that I had learned over, so I've been working since I was 18, that they never had anyone pour into them as far as, not feeling how to balance life, being a wife and a mother, a single mother, whatever. So that was a struggle for me. It's like, I'm sitting in the house all day by myself with me and my dog, it's like, and it's like, I don't know what's going on with my friends. I mean, I've lost touch, and it's hard for us to get together. We try, but it's not the same. I go into the office and it's like, it's just quiet. People's desks are just the way they left when we walked out March 21 or 20. It's that people's desks was like we got evacuated and we left behind everything. And now we're being told to come in and pack up, which is even harder because now it's like, it feels like, well, what does this mean? We're packing up, we're moving, and we're moving, we're leaving our office. We're no longer going to have an office. We work from home. So all of that was like a lot of going on, and like, who was prepared for that? How do you deal with that? And I've found that a lot of people are struggling with loneliness and depression, and they don't realize it because we have a perception of what depression looks like, but a lot of us are in it and don't realize we're in it because we don't know, right? Until we start talking to people and like, I'm feeling like this. My one girlfriend, she's home. She lost her only son a couple years ago, and now she's re-grieving because she's home all day by herself, taking care of her mother. And now she's re-grieving the loss of her son because she's 16. She's like, who's going to take care of me? My son's not here. I have no one, but she does have people, but she doesn't have her son. So all these emotions are starting to come back up, and people aren't talking about it. They're not sharing. And it's like, who do I talk to? Because some of us don't know that we're in it, until we start, like you say, be transparent and start talking to people. And the other thing I took from, I started, before the pandemic, I had lost a good amount of weight. I was working on losing weight, and I went out of the country for a month. I went to Vietnam, and that was a great way to lose weight because all you did was walk and eat vegetables, right? They don't eat a lot of sweets. So I lost a lot of weight coming back, but then pandemic happened, and I was sitting at the house eating, just sitting at my desk eating, junk, snacking, and it was just, I was like, okay, I'm going to get back on track. I'm going to lose weight. I joined the gym. I rejoined the gym. I reconnected with Annette. She's kicking my butt. Thank you, Annette. I'm still sore from Saturday. I can't turn my head. I took a cycling class. It's like my neck and my back is killing me. But so I'm taking notes on what you said as far as like, because I'm going to do a virtual. My girlfriend Mia, she couldn't attend, but I'm going to do a virtual board, and it's going to be my screensaver. So when I'm at my computer, I'm going to see it all the time. And then my other friend she has special printers, and I'm gonna print my vision board on a mouse pad. So it's gonna be my mouse pad. So when I'm looking to move my mouth, it's gonna be my screensaver. She can print it on my phone. I can make a mug, whatever, t-shirt, whatever. But Mia gave me the idea. It's like, I'll make it virtual because I'm in front of my computer all day long. So where better place to put my vision board is on my computer where I'm sitting at it all day. So when I'm going through, I can, look at my vision board like, okay, Cheryl, this is a goal this year. What you doing? What you gonna do to get toward it? And I have 2 sons, and my oldest son is kind of going through. And I said, you know what? And we was listening. I think it was Kira said to her son is 23, and I'm like, you know what? I need to start him down. It's because he's going to be 30 and he feels like, wow, it's like me hitting 60. He's like, I'm 30 and I don't feel like I've done anything, because we never had goals. We didn't set goals. So,
Right.
I wasn't, I said, I'm going to, while I do it, I'm going to teach him to, because you're never too old to learn. And that's
Right.
the thing. I didn't know about this when I was raising my boys, but I know now, on vision board with Pinterest, that wasn't back, 20 years ago, but it wasn't for me anyway. So it's never too late. I'm going to teach my 28-year-old son how to do a vision board, my 27-year-old son, he's in Utah by himself. I don't know what he's going through. He's out there by himself. He doesn't really have any friends or family. This could be something for him to help him. I don't know, like you said, they don't talk, boys don't talk, openly like girls do, but most don't. But it's 2021, like you said, it's the world we live in now. The pandemic, like you said, you'll find out how healthy you are. Pray for you don't get it, but if you do, so you may have some underlying issues that you weren't aware of, diet, things like that. So, and like my mom, I think Sister Francis, Mother Francis said, my mom is the same way, she's 87. And she always said, everything that God gave us is in the earth, everything, whatever we need, it's here on the earth. We grow it, everything he provided everything for us, the Lord's Prayer, that was the model. And I haven't said the Lord's Prayer. I don't even know it anymore. So I got to relearn it because we learn as children, that our bedtime prayer, but I have to relearn it because I forgot, and I didn't put it into practice, So just going back to basics, just what our ancestors, how they survived was just basics, ABCs, 1, 2, 3,
Less is more is what I say.
Yeah.
That's so awesome, Miss Cheryl. Thank you so much for sharing that. And you brought some really good points, especially with the mental health aspect of things, because we don't know who all is okay and who all is not okay. Speaking of myself, I'm a smiler. I smile all the time. I smile when I'm crying. I smile when I'm not okay. I'm always smiling. So it's gonna sometimes be hard to tell if I'm okay because I'm always smiling. And you don't know, not everyone is gonna walk around like, oh, the world is the worst. You just never know. So I think it's important to check on people. Like every once in a while, I have a Sassy Fit Queens group on Facebook. If any of you ladies are on Facebook and want to join that group, I would love to have you. But every once in a while, I'll go on there and I'll do a mental health check and I'll say, put this heart if you're okay. Put this heart, because you just do not know what people are going through. And it's just good to just check on one another and find out if they're okay. And you mentioned about it's never too old to learn. You're never too old to learn new things. That is absolutely a fact. You can always learn new things. I mean, I learn things from my kids, and I teach older people things all the time. Like, I think that you should always have an open mind to learn new things, because once you close your mind off, then you're not really growing at that point. And I think you should be growing until the day you die, really and truly. And I really appreciate you for sharing and for being so open and transparent with your goals, for your personal goal. Is there anyone else who wants to share?
Can I share?
Absolutely.
I just want to piggyback off of what Cheryl mentioned. A lot of us are going through things, and so am I. Mine is more of God planted these big, scary goals in me. And as long as I play small, I'm going to be stressed until I step out on my purpose. But I want to share with some people, because I started teaching back at the gym during COVID, that when you're going through something and sometimes you don't fully understand it, it's about fellowship. Just like people go to church to get the word, you being in a certain environment, and I know COVID holds some of us back, but momentum and movement makes a huge difference. Like even if you're at home, you can't go anywhere. When I mentioned about the music, if you put on some upbeat gospel music or you start dancing, you start working out, people don't realize, yeah, working out, you look good. That's the icing on the cake, but how you feel mentally and spiritually is a whole nother level. So I just want to share with people like even Cheryl, when you come to a gym, it's not just about the working out. Like when you go see Jaquita at church or in a fitness class, it's that camaraderie, it's that sisterhood, it's that vibe. So sometimes when you're going through stuff, just move. Whether you're walking outside, walk the dogs, just move and it'll help. Sometimes it'll help clear your mind. So I just want to share that.
And I'm glad you mentioned that because, you know, a part of my mental health improvement was being active. Like I've always been an athlete, but of course, you know, when we get older, we graduate from high school, we're not as active as we were when we were in high school. And then you have kids, you get married and life takes over. So for me, I was dealing with a lot of mental health issues, but I found that running was my escape. And so anytime I felt like my brain was just trying to take over, because I get anxiety every once in a while. And when I go out and go for a good run, I felt better. My ex-husband, whenever I was having a hard time with him because he was verbally abusive and everything emotionally, whenever I left the house and I wasn't there, he already knew where I was. I was in the gym on the treadmill running because that was my escape. That was my way to get away from the mental breakdown that he was trying to cause on me by, you know, tearing me down verbally and emotionally. And that was my escape. And so that's why I'm so passionate about, you know, empowering women to be healthy and fit for a lifetime, getting their sassy back, getting their vibe back, whatever that might be. You know, because sometimes men can tear you down. They can make you question who you are. They can, and not even just men, just people in general. They can tear down your self-esteem. They can make you question, you know, whose you are when we all know whose we are. You know what I'm saying? And it's just good to have that outlet, having that prayer life that we mentioned first, you know, that spiritual mind, knowing how to meditate, how to relax. That's one thing I know that I always need to work on is relaxing. Because when my brain starts going, I have a hard time sitting still because I know that I need to keep moving in order to keep my mind from going crazy. But it's also really good to sit down and relax and take care of yourself. And self-care is not selfish. A lot of us have that misconception that if we decide to do something for ourselves, that we're being selfish. If I decide to go do something for me and I don't include my boys, I'm not being selfish because I have to take care of me in order to properly take care of my boys. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to get the best version of me if I don't know how to pull back and do for myself. And so that is some great information that Miss Cheryl was so awesomely able to share. Does anyone else have a personal or physical well-being goal they want to share before we go to the next category? Is this helping you guys set your goals for the year? Like, is this helpful? Thumbs up? Yes? No? Yay!
I just wanted to add to, you know, what I'm hearing already, the importance of movement and connecting with others. You know, I still, even at my age, I still go to the gym. And there are people there older than I am. It's very important to our physical, our mental well-being. I have someone that we go to the gym together. And in the area where I am, we do water exercises. So, and it's only a few of us, and all of us have been vaccinated. So we try to be careful, you know, the circle that we hang in. But it's, you know, it's therapeutic, mind therapy too, to get out and be around others. And I've already said about, you know, keeping your creator at the forefront of your life to help you navigate, and avoid depression and stuff like that, because I think we all get into those spots sometimes where we begin to feel depressed or down. But you learn how to get out. Don't always wait for somebody to come to you. Make a plan that, I'm going to take a walk, even if it's to the corner, to the mill, around your yard. Look at the plants, water the plants. All of that helps us to navigate being around the house when you can't get out in the mainstream since this COVID thing is out. So, just wear your mask.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's a great point. I mean, even if you, like she said, water the plants. This is coming from a seasoned woman. I think she surpassed Miss Cheryl on here. So she got some wisdom to share with us. So like Miss Cheryl was saying, like everything you need, God gave it to us on this earth. Less is more. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. We really don't. So like everything you need is at your disposal. And it is great to have that person to talk to, even if you can't touch and feel them. Like what we're doing right now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting my cup filled just being on here with you guys. So if my cup was like not even half full before I got on here, but my cup is overflowing right now, and I have you all to thank for it. So you just don't know what people are going through, and you don't know how something so small as getting on a Zoom call and doing a vision board party, or just sharing goals and dreams and aspirations and struggles that you've overcome. You never know that. You know what I'm saying? And I think this guy right here has something that because he was like doing this when Shanda was talking about the Nike Run Club. So what was your physical goal? And then you too for something.
My physical goal is to run more, because get back into running, because I took a long pause, and I feel like I feel more free. I feel like that's another thing that's still big to me is running, because I feel like I'm free of, distraction. I feel like I'm free of any emotional pain that I may be feeling at the time if I go out and get a little running. So.
And that's awesome. And what was your physical goal? You guys speak up.
My physical goal.
You gotta talk to me.
Was to play soccer, because I like to play that PE most of the time.
And what specific goal did you have about soccer?
Oh yeah, to kick higher.
See, you see how challenging. You can't just say I want to play soccer. Like, what is it about soccer that you want to do? So that's a great goal and a great physical goal. So not only does he want to play soccer, he has a goal that he wants to kick higher in soccer. So that's just ways that I try to challenge, dig a little bit deeper, Anybody else want to share before I go down to the financial category? All right. So I know we all have financial goals. I know we all do. We all do, because that's how we're gonna make it in this world. And then I'm sure you guys are experiencing the influx and the increase in the pricing of everything. So as always, I'm gonna share first. For me, for my business, I'm an entrepreneur. A lot of people don't know that I'm a full-time entrepreneur. They think like it's a side gig, or like that I have a 9-to-5. What I'm doing right here, this is my 9-to-5. So everything that I'm doing for you guys, whether I charge you for it or not, like this is my business. Educating, building a community, doing fitness classes, doing personal training, fitness coaching, all of that. That is what I do for my business. And when I first started my business, my initial goal was to just make what I was making when I left the state. When I was working for the state, I just wanted to make what I was making working for the state. And of course, the first year in business, I didn't do that because I was just starting out. But there were times, some months that I was able to do that. And for me, I'm not a big numbers person. I'm gonna have Annette speak a lot more on this topic because she has a background in accounting, and I know she can give some great tips for this. But for me, I like to break things down monthly because that's my brain. Everybody's mind works differently when it comes to numbers. And me, I gotta break it down small. So the annual numbers, they're great, but I have to do it monthly because I'll set my annual goal, but then I'll break that down monthly so I know what I need to try to aim for to reach that annual goal. So starting out, my monthly goal was to make what, $2,000 a month. $2,000 a month is all I wanted to make. And it was hard. It was hard. I didn't always make that, but I didn't quit because I knew that, I think it was Kara that's trying to find what her passion is. Or her purpose. I knew that my purpose in life was to help empower other women to be healthy and fit by their mind, their body, and their spirit. Because I, have a testimony to share. And although there was a time in my life where I was not open to sharing my testimony, I've learned that sharing my testimony has helped others. And it also helped me realize that there's strength in numbers and that I'm not the only person to have gone through what I've gone through. So after that, the next year I actually met my initial goal, and then I surpassed it last year. And so I set an even higher goal. I don't know if I'm gonna reach it. You know how in the beginning when we introduced ourselves and I was like, what's that goal that you set for yourself? And you was like, I don't know if I'm gonna make this goal, but I'm gonna set it anyway. And you actually conquered it. This is what I'm doing right now. I don't know if I'm gonna meet this goal, but I'm gonna set it anyway. But I think it's good to set a financial goal for yourself. You know what your bills are, you know what lifestyle you are looking to have. And if you're gonna set a financial goal, I think everybody should set a financial goal and a budget. And not only that, aim towards meeting that goal. Don't just say, oh, I have this goal and I'm gonna wait for it to come to me. It's not gonna come to you. Just like 2022 is not gonna be great just because it's a new year. You have to go out and make 2022 great. So I set my goal, and if I don't meet that goal, I'm gonna try to figure out what it is I can do to help me reach that goal. That's just one of my income goals. So does anybody, Miss Annette, before I have anyone else share, what is your financial goal for the year? And then what tips can you provide us on the accounting financial side of things? It doesn't matter if it's tax related, whatever it is that you want to share. What is it that you would like? What nuggets would you like to provide us on the financial career? Yeah.
I am what you would call as close to a minimalist as you will define. And the reason I say minimalist, because we set goals like income goals or financial goals, but we forget to sometimes look at our expenses. And like Chiquita mentioned, a great thing to do, even before you say, I want to make 10,000, I want to make this a month, take a basic spreadsheet or a piece of paper and write down every expense that comes out. Write down every monthly expense that comes out that's recurring. And then always put miscellaneous. And for us ladies, listen, your nails, your hair, your lashes, all of that is money coming out. Take the time and look at what really, really comes out, and it'll give you an idea of a goal to set for income wise.
And be honest.
I'm sorry, huh?
I said, and be honest with yourself.
Yes, and be honest. So I say to people, start with your expenses, because you'd be surprised that you say, hey, I want to make an extra 1,000 or 500 a month. Maybe that'll help. When you actually look at what comes out of your account is much more than that. And one big thing I want to share, because I did it too, with the new year, take an inventory of what you have. We as adults have so much stuff we accumulate. We as adults have subscriptions to every little thing that we don't use. I bet you there's somebody on here that have a Planet Fitness membership that really didn't go. I did that for like 2 years, paying them $10 a month and didn't go to the gym. So take a look at what's coming out of your account. Take a look at your expenses and get a spreadsheet. So take a look at each expenses line item. Start there, take a total of your expenses, and then put your income at the top. And that way you can gauge what you want to do in regards to how much you want to make to at least cover your basic expenses, and then what you want to do from there. And for those who are in a great position, whereas you got money saved, you want to travel, you want to do other things, like Greg said, you want to invest, talk to someone who's already invested. There's a lot of people now that are investing. This is the time where there's a wealth transfer. So I am telling you, talk to people who are already investing that you know, and they'll give you some information. If you have a 401k with your job, make sure you maxing it out. If they're gonna match it, put all that money in there. But I just want to start like simple and tell people, pay attention to what's coming out and then go from there. We can talk more on it later. But I want to also share that I like to manifest like Jim Carrey did. And on my board, I got a check that I'm going to write out.
I know that's right.
I'm going to write out.
Check, girl.
I know.
Look at my stack of money. You see my stack of
Hey,
money?
that's what I'm talking about.
Look at my, y'all see my stack of money?
I love it. I love it. Make it rain. Make it rain.
Yeah, make it rain. And they all hundreds too. That ain't no $1 bill. All of them are hundreds.
But yes, manifest. And I just want to share, I used to have a fitness business years ago, right? Easily made 10, 16,000 a month. It's a numbers game. And I'm saying that to say to you, don't think small, especially with social media right now. If you actually need more money and you don't have time, there's jobs you could do remotely. You could sell ebooks on social media, and not just to your friends. You could sell it to other people. There's so many ways to make some extra money now. So I just want to share, keep it simple. Start with your expenses, put your income there, see what your net difference is, and then map it out from there. Did that help anybody? Did that help?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, Annette. Is there anyone who would like to share maybe some of their financial goals? When I put financial, career goals, anything like that? Don't be shy. Go ahead, Tatiana.
Some of you already know me, but I've been a teacher for almost 6 years now. And although I've loved working with kids, my season is over.
What? Go ahead, girl. Speak it.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
So that is a part of one of my personal goals. My boundary is not to resign in April. But I want to go into business for myself and go with one of my previous passions, which is design and construction. So I am looking to definitely getting into that industry, but I want to double my income, and I'm stepping out on faith. So I'm gonna say a whole double.
You got it, girl. No, you haven't mentored me. I love to help people who are first starting out their businesses. So if you want to pick my brain, I got you, girl.
Thank you.
You're
That is
welcome.
my goal.
Y'all better, we gotta give her some snaps, give her some thumbs up, something, because that is amazing. And you definitely have to have faith in order to step out and do that. Anyone else want to share? No? Nobody else want to share? Oh, okay. You have financial goals, Zach? Isaiah, you want to share?
I do.
Okay, go ahead.
So, I'm actually, right now I'm working on a book. So, one of them was to publish and sell my first book.
Woo! What's the name of your book?
Dreams at Work.
Dreams at work. Dreams that work.
Dreams at school.
Dreams at work. Y'all hear that? My baby trying to write a book. What? Go ahead. Can we get some snaps on that? Yes. All right. Anybody? Oh, go ahead.
And then I've been actually pondering on this for a minute, but another one is to make and sell my own whey products.
Oh, he want to make and sell his own whey products. Do I hear an entrepreneur? Did I set the right example or what? Do I hear a future entrepreneur? What? That's good stuff. Good stuff. All right. You have a financial goal. I know you do. Go ahead. What is it? You gotta talk loud. Don't be acting shy because your voice is loud.
By the end of the year,
So he want to make $300 by the end of the year. So let me ask you, how you plan to make $300? He plan to. He want to make $300 by making good grades. He can do it, right? He can do it. Let's snap it on up. You can snap it on up. Oh, he also wants to sell some of his artwork. That's good. Woo! That's awesome. All right. So anybody else want to share before we wrap things up? We did good. I reserved this until 7, and looks like we're doing okay. The last one that we have is relationships. Now, this is something that I know a lot of us can work on. It doesn't matter what type of relationship it is. It could be with your kids, your friends, your family, and also cutting off people that are not serving you any real purpose in your life. And I think that's the hardest thing for a lot of people, is letting go of toxic people. And I don't struggle with that, but I know some people do struggle with that. And I did at one point in my life struggle with that. So I just learned that my health, my well-being, and my peace of mind is more important than a toxic relationship. And I always say I want to live a little bit longer. And I think it's really hard to live longer if your mental health is not in place, because believe it or not, stress is the #1 killer. And it's not stress alone, it's the things that come with stress. Your body starts to break down. You start to feel sick. You aren't yourself. Some people don't eat. Some people binge eat. So it's a lot of negative things that come with unnecessary and undue stress that you can probably control the situation. So my relationship goal, what did I put for my relationship goal? I put for my relationship goal, self-care is not selfish. That's one of the things, because I want to continue to build on my self-care and not feel bad about it. And I think it's important, like your person, yourself is also a relationship. A lot of times we feel like we have to not consider ourselves, but you're still a person. And if you think about how you treat yourself, and think about if you would allow someone else to treat you the way you treat yourself. If the answer to that question is no, then you need to reevaluate the way you treat yourself. And I think I saw a hand. Is that Kara? Yes. What would you like to share, Kara?
I was actually going to share that for the relationship one.
Go ahead, girl.
That I was going to need to get a relationship with myself, because
yes.
I had, when I got divorced, I went into survival mode. And, throughout this year, I was talking to my son, and he's like, well, it's been a decade. And I didn't realize that I had stuck myself in that survival mode. And I had lost, in my marriage, I lost who I was. I was this person's mother. I was this person's spouse. I was, I lost who I was. So now it's trying to rebuild that relationship with myself. Who am I? Who does God want me to be? What's, and that's part of that whole purpose discussion I was talking about earlier. So it's, that kind of, when he said it's been a decade, kind of shook me and said, wow, I've kind of, and it reminds me of Pastor Clint when he was saying, you hold the glass, and as you're holding it, first your arm gets numb and then you kind of get paralyzed. And I feel like I've been in that season where I've kind of been in that mode, and I just need to break that off and come into a new year as a new person.
Absolutely. And I commend you for that because it is so easy to lose ourselves while trying to care for someone else. And I think a lot of times too that in that we become codependent, meaning we can't function properly without other people around. But if we learn how to sit with ourselves and love ourselves and absorb who we are and accept who we are, the good and the bad, and then learn how to adjust the things that we want to fix and work on self-care and just self-evaluation and doing, taking better care of ourselves, then we'll be better off. And I think that is great that that aha moment popped in for you and you're like, oh my gosh, it's been that long. And I get it, I've been there. You tend to lose yourself, and it's okay to still have a relationship with yourself while having a relationship with others and not feel bad about it. So that's great. Did I see another hand? Someone else?
I think Raquel had put her hand up first.
Who was that?
I think Raquel had put her hand up first.
Oh, go ahead, Raquel.
All right, so mine is a relational, but also a personal goal. So my picture is it's these puzzle pieces. And when you talked about in the area of personal, you talked about setting those boundaries. So I went through a season in my life where I took that to a whole extreme to where I built the whole wall of China. And just from being hurt and not being able to trust people, being mistreated, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's not even worth going into all the details. But because of that, I had built this great wall of China. I mean, you could literally call it that. Like, I was not about to let anybody in.
I know that's right.
But I can say that I was healed, delivered and healed from that. And so in this season of my life, my relational / personal goal, with my little puzzle pieces, is to be open to establishing and developing the God ordained relationships that are meant for me.
That is awesome. That is awesome. And I think it's amazing when the first step is always accepting what it is that we need to work on. Because a lot of times it's easy for us to point fingers and see what everybody else needs to work on. But the hardest thing for us to do is to look in that mirror and say, girl, you need to fix this, that, and the third. And then if we hear it from somebody else, we don't want to hear it, even if it's true. But if we can have that humility about ourselves and say, okay, this is how I'm behaving, or this is what I'm dealing with, and this is what I need to work on. That's when the change can happen and the steps towards improvement can happen. So kudos to you for that. And I know you're going to conquer it this year. Woo, snap it up, snap it up. Woo. All right, you got this one. Who was it, Michelle?
Me, yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Michelle.
I'm kind of piggybacking on Raquel. So, a lot of people, I've been divorced since 2006. A lot of people say, well, you haven't been dating, you haven't seen anybody. And it's funny, earlier you said, be careful what you pray for. So when I went through divorce, I prayed that that God wouldn't send a distraction into my life, meaning a relationship, a man, because I needed to make sure my sons were safe. And I didn't want to, I was a single parent and they were my focus, to make sure they didn't, go through. And one of the things you said was self-care is not selfish. Well, it was never about me while I was raising my children. I sacrificed everything for them because I didn't want them to feel the pain of a broken marriage, and to divorced parents and things like that. And now I'm like, okay, he answered that prayer. So now it's about me. I want to self-care. I want to let go of toxic people. My circle of friends are very, very small. I mean, I have acquaintances, but I don't call them my friend.
Right.
Right. And I learned that at a young age. Not everybody's gonna be your friend. And I don't need a lot of friends. I just need who I need in my life. And I was talking to one of my friends who was going through, and I said, I hope as your friend, I will tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear.
Yes.
And I hope my friends will be, no matter how painful cry with me when you hurt my feelings, but I need to hear it. Hug
Right.
me up, pat me up, and say, it's okay, but you need to hear this.
But you need to hear it.
I
Yep.
love you, but you need to hear this. You need to stop this, that, and the other, and you need to do this, that, and the other. Because we're adults here, we're women, mothers, wives, whatever. And we need to hear tough love. We give it to our children. We need to give it to each other. And it's not easy. It's very hard to be truthful when it could be painful and hurtful. But it just has to happen. And I like the self-care. It's not selfish, because sometimes people like, girl, why are you going to the gym so much? Why are you doing? I said, because it's about me. I want
to. Yes. Can you say that one more time for the people in the back?
It's like, oh, you going to the gym too? Oh, I ain't paying no money for no gym membership. Why? You spending money how you want to spend your money. I work and earn my don't sign my paycheck.
Right.
Exactly. So, and I feel good. Like, and that's it. I feel good. I'm hurting today, but I feel good. It's a good hurt.
Right.
But and that's important as women. We feel like we need to fix and solve everything, and we neglect ourselves, and we abuse ourselves because we think, oh, we got to do it because we're the mother, we're the wife, we're the whatever, the daughter. And that's a struggle too. Being a daughter. And so as self-esteem, I put down improved self-esteem. I never thought I had a problem with self-esteem, but where I grew up, it was a lot of pressure to look a certain way and to dress a certain way, and that forms people, and if you feel like you would never measured up, or your hair didn't look good, or you didn't drive the right car, or whatever materialistic thing that people impose, that forms you, and sometimes you have to check back, like, why? It's not, none of it's important. None of it.
Right.
Like my mother said, you never see a U-Haul following a hearse. It don't matter. It don't happen.
Sure won't.
You can't take any of it with you. So, those are things that, once again, being transparent, you have to just say, look, it don't matter. It just doesn't matter. Self-care is important. It's not being selfish. My dog is agreeing with me.
Yep.
But
because it's the truth, and she know it. He or she knows it.
Yeah. And it was funny because I came so close when I went out to eat after church, and I was like, girl, I know I'm not gonna be so tired. I'm not gonna be able to call in. And I told myself, I'm not gonna call in. I didn't have a reason. So I did come home and take a church nap. But then my pastor's wife called me at 4:52. I'm like, okay, to talk about something else, but she woke me up. I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna go in and call in, see what they doing, see what they talking about.
Aren't you glad you called in?
I'm so glad I called in.
Yay! See, it was meant for your pastor to wake you up.
Yeah, it was. I was
I'm
sure
glad. That's so awesome. I'm happy about that, and I'm so thankful for you guys for being open and sharing. I think that's what it's all about. Being open and sharing, and just being open to learn better ways to kind of set your mind up for the year, and not just for this present year, but beyond. So I'm glad that you shared that. I appreciate that so much. Is there anyone else who wants to share their relationship goal? This is the final category, so
I would gladly share.
Yay! Go ahead.
I realized that once I became an entrepreneur years ago, that I put my family to the side. And even today, before I came in here, because I had to switch because a bad connection, my sister called me and was yelling, "You ain't called me for New Year's." But she's right though. So I wanted to share about relationships is that I need to make a conscious effort to reach more out to my friends and check up on them, to reach out to my family and check up on them, and not just be so busy trying to build back a business.
Right.
And it's important to me. And I felt really bad because she's right. I didn't reach out to her and she's been reaching out to me. So
Right.
relationship wise, I want to build a better relationship and initiate contact with my friends and my family and hang out with my girlfriends at least once a month or something. Create more memories with my grandbaby and my sons. And really have a stronger relationship with God, because I know God has given me grace. God has blessed me in ways that I'm even embarrassed to share. And I've been playing small. So I want to build my relationship more with God, with my confidence, so I can do the things that he has planned and planted in me.
And I'm so proud of you. You know why? Because when you, like I mentioned earlier, when you accept what it is, because like it's hard sometimes. I'm sure it was hard when your sister called and was screaming at you. You probably was like, girl, what are you doing? But then when you sat back and you was like, you know what, she's right. And then it kind of helped you realize, okay, this is a pattern that I've been having and I need to fix it. So I'm proud of you for owning that. And I know that's not easy. So kudos, step it on up.
I know it. Well, another quick thing is, and what I learned from you, which is a big thing, is the boundaries. Because I didn't put myself first. And people love us because we do fitness classes, but they don't realize this is our full-time job. Exactly. And so I was giving myself to so many people and not getting my things done or feeling some type of way because I'm happy that they happy. And I had to cut that. So I've learned boundaries from you and self-care first, because when my cup is full, I can help others.
Exactly. Yay! I love when I can impact people in whatever way that might be. It doesn't matter, big or small. It makes my heart smile. So thank you so much for that. Does anyone else have a relationship goal they want to share? Yes, go ahead.
So similar to Annette, mine is to be a more consistent friend. I started writing down just people, friends and family, that I want to interact with, and not doing it. A couple weeks ago, me and my friend, we did a Zoom call and we said, oh, we'll do this every 2 weeks. We haven't done it since that first time, but at least making it a point to talk to these 12 people. And I don't know if it's just there's 12 months in a year, but 12 people, reach out to them at least once a month. It can just be a quick text, it can be a quick phone call, or I love memes, sending a meme through Instagram or Snapchat, something. But just reaching out and saying, hey, how you doing? So that's my goal for the year, because when I say consistent, I with our 4 categories, I tried to put something spiritual with it. So be more like Jesus. He's always there for us. Always, as a human, is difficult, but you never know what that friend could be going through. And when you just reach out randomly, even though for me it is on purpose, but still random, it can make all the difference.
Yes. And that's awesome. I think reaching out and checking on people is a great thing. So kudos to you for that. Snap it on up. Woo! Did I see somebody else raise their hand? No? Okay, Isaiah, you want to share your relationship goal? Yes, speak up.
Okay, so for my relationship goal, I said basically create better relationships with my family, especially my mom. Because I realized in 2021, I was making it hard for her to have a good relationship with me. I was, just being I guess you could say being I don't know if this is the right word, but being a coward. And so I will be feeling bad, whatever. I don't want that this year, so.
Okay. Well, you know what, Isaiah, I commend you for that because, like I mentioned earlier, owning it, which is not always easy, like looking at what it is that you need to work on, looking in that mirror and saying, Isaiah, you did this, this, and that, and you need to fix it. So I'm proud of you. Good job. All right. Any other goals you want to say? I didn't know that, by the way, so go ahead.
Relationship goals.
If not, it's fine.
I guess I didn't put this on here, but I guess attempt to relationships, with more relationships, like whenever
like in general?
Like in general, because I guess I tend to feel scared too, just because I don't know how they're going to react if I approach them or something. So.
Well, that's good. So you working on not having that fear that we talked about. All right. Zach, you got any relationship goals?
Yes.
What is it?
I want to have a better relationship with my friends.
Okay. And that all of those are great. Listen, I am ecstatic that you guys came and you stayed the whole 2 hours. Like, I guess we had some great things to talk about. And I love to do takeaways. We only have a minute left, unless you guys are open. But if everybody can just unmute yourself, and if you can just name one takeaway that you got from this vision board party today, that will make my heart smile. Just mean that this was meaningful, and let me know if this is something you would like to do next year as well. So whoever wants to go, everybody just unmute yourself, name one takeaway, and if you want to do it next year, and then we'll be done. Go ahead, Miss Karen.
I learned how important it is to actually set goals. I've never done a vision board or anything like that before. And you have the cliche New Year's goals of lose weight and the things that you don't really strive for, but having this will help you keep your focus. So thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. And would you do it again next year?
Absolutely.
Yay!
I'd probably drag my son as well, if he's still living.
I love to have him. All right, who's up next?
I'll go.
Shanda, go ahead, Shanda.
So just like Kara, this is actually my first vision board situation. I'm excited that I got to do it. And it made me actually think about all those categories in my life, like, what is important, what's a priority, and it's actually making me focus on how I want my life to go this year. So that's my takeaway. And yes, I would do it again next year. Thanks for
Yay! Thank you so much.
And I like how you showed an example of the years that you used, because I got to benefit from your vision board because we got to do fitness at church. So it works.
Yay, I'm so excited. Thank you so much. That means a lot. It really does. Thank you
for doing this. I loved it.
You're welcome.
Too. Like after church therapy, I love it.
Oh yeah, after church therapy is always the best. Yes.
Thank you. I enjoyed coming. I'm glad I decided to come. I would do this again with you next year. Also, while you were talking, I texted 2 of my coworkers and I said, I have a plan. So I'm gonna do this for them. We're gonna do this as coworkers together. So I'm off tomorrow. I'm gonna write down, I'm gonna set the agenda like you did. So when we get together, I'm saying, okay, this is what we're gonna do. Here's some ideas, and I'm gonna hold them accountable. We're gonna hold each other accountable because I haven't built my board yet. So we're gonna hold, that's important to accountability. So we're gonna be our accountability partners.
Thank
Yeah,
you
so I
so
really
much.
enjoyed it. Yeah.
Yay!
I can't wait until next year to see how
Yay.
people met their goals.
Yes, me too. Me too.
Yeah.
All right, who's next? Pariola, you've been kind of quiet. Did you take anything from today? I hope so. Did you take anything away from today, ma'am?
Yes, I did. Can you hear me?
Huh?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so my takeaway was for the relationship, cutting off toxic people,
Mm-hmm.
and knowing the red flags. That's what I wrote down.
Yes.
And actually following your intuition and like take initiative on that and move accordingly when I got those red flags. Because usually we as women, we sweep it under the rug. But once you know something and you see it and God's giving you a sign,
you better follow it.
Protection.
Yes. Well, I'm so glad that you found it valuable. And would you come next year?
Yes, this is my first vision board, so I would definitely do it again.
Yay! Thank you so much. Who else we got? I think we got two more. Oh, Raquel and is that Lee? Yeah, we got a couple more. So whenever you're ready.
Well, mine was more geared toward, the categories and the area of relationships, because I've been a wife for over 18 years. I'm a mom of 6. And so I've always put myself last. And so the one thing I wrote down in my journal is the fact that you have a relationship with yourself. And I'm always working on my relationship with God, working on my relationship with my husband, working on my relationship with my kids, now working on developing, friendships and things like that. So I think I need to focus on making a relationship just with myself and making it better too.
This is so awesome. Y'all making me smile and blush. Oh my God. Thank you. I'm so happy. That makes my heart smile. All right, Leanne, are you next?
Yep, I'll go next.
Okay.
Yeah, this was actually my first vision board. I didn't really know what to expect, honestly, but I really enjoyed it. I guess my biggest takeaway was the self-care aspect. I mean, some other people said, I guess I know for me, I'm the type of person, if I have like different goals and stuff I'm working on, I make that the priority and kind of put taking care of myself, like, it's not important, like I'll get to it, like it's fine, like I just gotta go. But just listening to everyone, talk about the importance of taking care of yourself, and the fact that taking care of yourself is not like bad or like you're neglecting other things in your life. It's just about finding the balance. So that's definitely something that I'm gonna go into this year as like being like a big focus.
Yay! I'm so excited. That is awesome. All right. Who Tatiana, did you share?
No, I'm about to go right now.
Okay.
So for me, everything was so good, like really and truly. This isn't the first time I've been to a vision board party, but it was like the most instructive. So I definitely thank you for that. But I think for relationships, like Raquel and Lee had said, the self-care aspect, like I've been on a journey for self-care. Self-care is not selfish. You have to have a relationship with yourself. And my me goal is like definitely to take myself out like once a month. Not next week, tomorrow. I'm going to take myself mini golfing.
Nice.
Yeah. It funny like story behind that. I went on a date. The date was great. The guy was not. And yeah, the awkward moment. But in that, like he bought like 2 rounds. So I'm gonna use that second round because we did a rain check for me. So yeah. But I'm gonna
pay attention that he was not the one.
Yeah. So I'm gonna definitely enjoy myself. Like I had thought about taking a friend, but this is the time for me to learn what I like. and just enjoy my own company.
Yes.
Be a friend to myself so I know what I want in a friend. So that's my me goal and my takeaway.
That's awesome. I love that. Snap it up, snap it up. Are we missing anyone? I don't want to leave anybody out except Annette. I know Annette didn't go yet, but outside of Annette, did anyone else not go? All right, Annette, go ahead and close us out, my dear.
I wanted to say thank you, Chiquita, for hosting this, for one. Two, and thank you for allowing me to be a part of it.
Absolutely.
One of my biggest takeaways is that something like this is so needed, because part of what I haven't also shared is I'm known for teaching classes, you know, helping people get to the next level, step out their comfort zone, women feeling more confident. But my thing is more connection and sharing and trying to empower people through my life lessons and words and making them feel good. But I did very little of speaking and hosting things like this. So this just, the biggest takeaway for me is that this is so needed, that this community of people coming together, because we learn from each other, and I'm definitely going to do more of it. So I appreciate everyone sharing. I'm available if y'all have any questions or anything that I shared. And Chiquita is always a great source of knowledge. I want to say thank you to everyone. And I just want to leave these words with you. I hope that you get all that you pray for in 2022 and more than you expect. I see you guys. The dogs are barking.
Thank you guys so much. You guys are awesome. And you have a great week. And the rest of 2022 is up to you. Y'all have a good one. Bye.
Bye.
I'll write down the coffee too. Want me to get anything? I'm gonna get my cream up for coffee tomorrow.
Yeah.
He's probably outside. That's his good.